How do small water chemistry tweaks change homebrew taste? Imagine brewing your favorite beer and realizing that tiny changes in your water can make a huge difference in how it tastes. Water makes up about 90 to 95% of beer, so even small tweaks can have a big impact. When you start adjusting your water chemistry, you are mainly changing the mineral ions dissolved in the water. These minerals influence how enzymes work during mashing, how well yeast ferments, and how flavors come through in the final product. Two minerals play the biggest roles in shaping beer flavor. First is chloride, which enhances malt sweetness and makes the beer feel fuller and rounder in the mouth. Adding more chloride tends to make your beer taste smoother and more malt forward. The second is sulfate, which emphasizes hop bitterness and dryness. Increasing sulfate levels can give your beer a crisper, more biting finish, making hop flavors stand out more. Balancing these two minerals is key. If you want a hop-forward style like a West Coast India Pale Ale, you might aim for a higher sulfate to chloride ratio. This makes the beer drier and more bitter. On the other hand, if you prefer a maltier beer like a stout or an English ale, a higher chloride to sulfate ratio will bring out sweetness and body. But minerals do more than just flavor. Calcium, for example, is essential for enzyme activity during mashing. It helps lower mash pH to the ideal range of around 5.2 to 5.6, which improves sugar extraction and protein breakdown. Calcium also helps yeast flocculate and makes your beer clearer. Usually, calcium levels should be between 50 and 150 parts per million. Magnesium supports yeast health and also influences mash pH, but too much magnesium can cause a bitter or astringent taste. Keep magnesium below 50 parts per million for best results. Sodium adds a roundness to malt flavors but can taste metallic or salty if overdone. Keep sodium below 40 parts per million unless you want a salty note for styles like Goza. Bicarbonate buffers the mash pH, so high bicarbonate levels can raise mash pH and cause harsh flavors, especially in pale beers. Adjusting water chemistry can change mash pH, which affects how well enzymes convert starches into sugars. It also influences perceived bitterness or sweetness by shifting the balance of minerals. Small tweaks can make your beer feel thinner and crisper or richer and smoother. They can also impact how well yeast performs during fermentation, which affects flavor development. For homebrewers, testing your water is the first step. You can then use brewing salts like gypsum, calcium chloride, or Epsom salt to fine-tune mineral levels. Removing chlorine or chloramine from tap water prevents off flavors. Adjust your water based on the beer style you want to brew. For hop-forward beers, increase sulfate. For maltier styles, boost chloride. Always check your mash pH with a meter or strips and make adjustments accordingly. In the end, tiny changes in water chemistry can dramatically influence your beer's flavor profile. They affect how the enzymes work, how the yeast ferments, and how the flavors come together. Learning to control these variables gives you the ability to craft beers that match your style goals perfectly.